some people crank to it. I think there's also a lot of people crank to it, which is fucking insane and gross and should be illegal. I think some people think it's like edgy again, which I still put in the same camp. Let's hear what Lud Mogul Male had to say about it.
I don't sound like I normally do. I probably don't even look like I normally do. And the answer for that's simple. I'm in Paris. I'm on vacation with my mother and my sister, visiting my French family. And I figured I can take a week off. No big deal. Nothing major is going to happen in the time that I'm gone. And in the week that I've been gone, Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential race. I was featured on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, which is cool. And there have been a bunch, and I mean a bunch of allegations about Ava Kris Tyson. Now, bear with me here. It is 1:30 a.m. My family's sleeping. I'm doing the best I can. I got a damn MacBook with 800 tabs open because we're going to go through as many of the credible allegations as I was able to find and actually discuss what is legitimate, what is not legitimate, how do you discern all that. And before we jump in,
this fucking son of a bitch was on John Oliver before me. It's Jover, Tim Pool, and now MAGA Male. It's obvious that the type of content creators that they are, the type of content creators that they're having on this fucking show are of a certain ideological variety.
Into anything, it's worth noting, Ava is trans, but I'm not going to talk about that after this. I think it's pretty irrelevant, right? I'm just going to discuss what actually and factually happened.
Okay, that's definitely, I think Ava Kris Tyson being trans is a very important part of the story. It is part of the reason why there's so much reaction to the story. It is part of the reason why so many people are like yelling at content creators, including himself, over not covering the story fast enough. That literally is perhaps one of the more important parts of the story. And I think that, I don't know, I think it's not correct to say it's not part of the story. If it was not a part of the story, then every single person on the Mr. Beast franchise would be getting canceled for similar, if not the same level of communications, but like similar edgy humor that they've demonstrated. The right is very good at taking a story and splitting it into two stories in such a way that you can't talk about one without referencing the other. All right, let's continue.
The same that I did with the doc, the same that I will do with Cody Ko. Like all three of those people are white. I'm not going to make a point about them all being white. In the same way, I won't make a point about Doc being straight. In the same way, I won't make a point about Ava being trans. Don't think it's relevant. I'll just refer to her as she, and then the shit that she did that I think is bad, call it out the same. Anyway, jumping into it, the first thing, and I think the most egregious and like definitely factually happened thing is pertaining to lolly drawings, which is basically like, and I'm just reading here from an article, which is basically underaged art of girls, which is crazy to use the word art there, but there is a notorious lolly artist called Shadman, who I've like heard about in passing, but has a few big controversies under his belt. The first one is that he made like sexual art of Keemstar's 7-year-old daughter giving
completely gross, completely unacceptable, straight up. And you guys know I am not a fan of Keemstar. Okay, Keemstar is not a fan of mine. I consider him to be a truly abhorrent, toxic individual that is like, I mean, there's nothing else to say. It's just so unacceptable. That's it.
Donald Trump a blowjob. That's a real thing that he actually did that was out there on the internet because he lost a bet, which is a crime. Shouldn't happen. I don't give a shit what you think about Keemstar. It's just all fucking horrible things to do. And also drew art of Daphne Keene, who is an actress who was 12 at the time, and in the movie Logan being molested and beaten up. So really, the guy went from maybe drawing like Lolly, which is like supposed to be fictional anime 1,000-year-old dragon characters, to just like real children, human in the real world in sexual positions, which is like a fucking crime, at least in my book. So anyway, that's Shadman. That is the artist who did all this. And what is Ava's relationship to Shadman? Well, it seems like for years, an avid follower or perhaps fan. And this video by Adrox distills it pretty well. It talks, I'm just going to highlight a few of the key moments here about their relationship.
There are two versions of her in the show. In one, she's 17, and in the other, she's 10.
This is talking about a certain anime character.
Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please. I believe everyone
Now, it's pretty obvious what Ava is saying there when she's writing "please Shad, please make like, you know, lolly art of this," which is like a generally weird thing to do. But that's not where it ends with the Shadman arc. It's pretty obvious based off a live stream that Ava did that she was a frequent browser of Shadman's website as well.
Ava will post a clip from their live stream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today. I accidentally put up his website on stream."
Which is like, you know, not only doing it, but then also like tweeting it out has a level of normalcy that shouldn't exist with a person like Shadman who draws the shit that he does, right? But the most egregious part of the relationship between Shad and Ava is a drawing that like people are theorizing might have been like contracted, like she might have paid for, or at the very least bought a print of, and that's this drawing here that's blurred out.
Girl wearing a "please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18,
we do all know.
Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room."
And now people thought that was a joke, maybe. Like some people maybe just read this as like edgy. You don't actually have a Shadman drawing. But it was later discovered this is featured.
Sorry, I've only been intermittently paying attention. Isn't this lolly shit illegal? Like, it feels as if it should be illegal. It is very much not illegal. It should be, but it's not. It's literally, I don't understand why some people crank to it. I think there's also a lot of people crank to it, which is fucking insane and gross and should be illegal. I think some people think it's like edgy again, which I still put in the same camp. Jail. This is like, I don't think you guys understand. Okay. I don't think you guys understand something. This is very important. Before the online right collectively decided that every gay and trans person was a groomer pedophile, okay, they all loved making pedophilia jokes, making inferences to pedophilia, like behaving like they were pedophiles. Like every edgy person, okay, which happened to be predominantly on the right, libertarians and the like, loved this type of shit. When I try to explain this to you, there are some who might have even had in their own background and in their own time when they were, you know, behaving in this weird way. Perhaps they also did similar jokes and shit like that. Now, you know, what's done is in the past, as long as you've like grown from that, okay, learn from your mistakes, recognize that that shit is like weird as fuck and you no longer do that, that's fine. I never did it. I thought it was fucking weird, but I totally do understand like how normalized it was for a lot of the people who despised me back then, some of which still do it, by the way, like all the fucking lolly fans. Like, it's hilarious because we were talking about like lolly. We're talking about lolly, right? Like, and how unacceptable and inappropriate it is. Asmongold was talking about the Kris Ava Tyson situation. I don't know if he actually brought up Shadman, but he literally every day watches a lolly VTuber describe all of the latest and greatest in the fucking Gamergate world. So like, how do you exist in this space where on the one hand, you're like, man, this lolly shit's weird and gross, okay? While you literally watch like a lolly YouTuber, a lolly VTuber on a daily fucking basis. So I just don't get it. Maybe some of it is acceptable and others are not. Like, I don't know what it is. I find it all very strange and gross, for the record. Okay? I don't think it's appropriate. I think it's weird as fuck. Straight up. Isn't lolly VTuber redundant? I mean, yeah. No. Yes and no. I don't fucking know. I think there's differences. Like, lolly and Shota for that guy. Apparently Shota is when it's like lolly but male.
Sure. So the Gamergate situation roars on, and today we have some more game journalists to laugh at because there's been a...
This is the guy that Asmongold watches every fucking day, by the way. So like, I don't get it. I actually don't understand it. Because if you go on Twitter right now, there's people being like, bro, that's gross, Shadman. Like, I can't believe Ava Kris Tyson was commissioning Shadman, which I think is gross and weird. I do, okay? I do. But you can't say that if you're fucking watching lolly VTubers on a regular fucking basis and simultaneously have like a lolly VTuber avatar or some shit. Have the fucking Nazis on the Nazi website, Twitter, formerly known as Twitter. Now it's called X. Nobody calls it that. Have lolly groiper PFPs. What are we doing? Like, what is it? It's just like, it's cool when you do it. It's not cool across the board. Don't. I just don't understand it. Not little Nazi lolly avatars with SS's on them being like, yeah, what the fuck? Speedrunning Hasan's collapse in humanity on his birthday part 2. Anyway.
In a actual Mr. Beast video. It's like a Mr. Beast buying my friend or pizza driver a home video. And here is that exact drawing you can see in the corner that I assume is Ava's drawing that was in this home. So like not only was talking to Shadman on...
What? Lolly PFPs are fine. It's people sexualizing them that is the issue, but also Japan is doing nothing to stop this? No. Lolly PFPs are not fine, man. What the fuck?
On Twitter, pulling up the website on stream by accident, but even like buying the prints of this dude who is literally just drawing child porn. There's no other way. He's just doing that. So this is 100% true. This 100% happened, and is fucked up. Is a bad thing to have in your past. And so if you've seen anything of that, that happened. Moving on, next allegation. Because again, these all kind of like came crashing down, similar timing. I feel like once the first allegation caught wind, a bunch more got added too. And another one that's just 100% factually true is like an old video of Ava where she shares revenge porn pics of Cenat McCurdy from iCarly. I'll just play the clip here.
How's it going, you guys? Maybe tomorrow, because Nickelodeon has that kind of power. But the link's in the description if you want to see them. I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say.
And then,
by the way, this is like literally what I was saying earlier. This is weird as fuck, right? It's weird as fuck. This is from an era where both Ava Kris Tyson and Mr. Beast, and I don't know how to like correctly cover this, but they were, Mr. Beast still is male, but Ava Kris Tyson at the time, alongside Mr. Beast, were like all, they were like edgy young YouTube white boys, okay? Not to say that I'm not saying Ava Kris Tyson is a man or a boy or anything. I'm simply saying that like their outward presentation at the time was edgy white boys, and it's still bad, and it was bad back then, okay? But like understand that all of these people who are currently yelling at Ava Kris Tyson are still edgy white boys online. You know what I mean? Fucking got the shit out of that bug. So like, you know, this is like the weird dynamic. It's like, anyway, let's continue.
And Ava goes on to say that like you shouldn't share revenge porn pics and it's like wrong to do, and people like Perez Hilton are bad for doing it. But then like does it. Like just says and presumably put the link to just pornographic pics of Cenat McCurdy in the description of like I'm assuming a YouTube video here. So this happened. It was a weird thing to do. It felt like it was an attempt at being journalistic or thorough, but was actually just a fucked up thing to do. So that 100% true. Next, there are these screenshots and screen recordings of tweets that are going around that have a bunch of likes and views on Twitter. And I'm just going to share them here real quick. You can see, "We could play Fortnite. I beat you last time." This is the presumably 14-year-old who was talking to Ava, who was allegedly 18 at the time.
Yeah, this is fake, isn't it? This was just like, I think some of these were fake. They just like made fake. It wasn't enough. The weird shit can't just stay weird. You have to also just like push further to like really drive home the wedge and really drive home the narrative. It says "today" at the top. Like, oh my God.
And then, "You don't want anything expensive for your birthday? I could spoil you. I don't know. It's fine." These messages are just fake. These are just 100% fake Twitter messages. I don't know how so many people got tricked into believing them.
How?
Literally.
How, Ludwig? How do you think? You remember the thing that you said you weren't going to mention any longer? after the beginning of the fucking story? That's how. Because at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $6 or for free with the Twitch Prime. And also because Ava is trans. So, of course, it's called motivated reasoning. This is being reported by Keystar, who literally killed someone. Yeah, that's another part of this story. Anyway, people have biases, and they love having their biases be reaffirmed, be confirmed. Okay? Keemstar killed someone? Yes. Urged someone to kill themselves, which then they ended up doing. Yes, Etika. Rest in peace. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Okay.
Actually says today on the screenshot with these messages, which is impossible, because how would the screenshot, even if the person, you know, the kid or whatever were to have screenshotted it today, 8 years ago, it says Ava Kris Tyson, and Ava did not transition until years later. So if this is from 2020 and Ava didn't transition until 2023, how is it possible that the screenshot?
They did it with Dr. Disrespect too, but hey, I guess it's motivated. No, they didn't do it with Dr. Disrespect. Dr. Disrespect did it to himself. What are you talking? Half the fucking people that are chirping online right now are still actively defending Dr. Disrespect. As a matter of fact, I go so far as to say that like the reason why they started yelling at like Pokimane and Valkyrae and shit was because they had the audacity to say yuck or Dr. Disgusting. So they came down and were like immediately start talking about how every trans person is a pedophile or we will fucking kill you. You're hypocritical. They are using this to defend Dr. Disrespect. These fucking freaks do not give a single fuck about victims. Holy fuck, they need to rot on 4chan where they belong. But they're not on 4chan anymore. They're on Twitter. Anyway.
Existence as today. The answer, because it's
That chatter has a lolly pic confirmed. Wait, really? No shot. Shut the fuck up. Where is the chatter? What is the username of that fucking chatter?
fucking fake. And it's even just fake by reading it. Look at this shit. It's Ava going, I love you. Oh, I meant I love playing Minecraft with you. Obviously fake. Insane that people believe this. I think a lot of people honestly are people who might have just hated Ava.
Yeah, I wonder why would that have happened? Did they precog that she was in chat rooms sending weird messages to 13-year-olds? No, they didn't precog that. No, because they're fucking transphobic. That's it.
And then trying to find a reason to hate Ava. There are valid reasons to do it. Like the Shadman one, right? Like the Cenat McCurdy thing. That is a valid reason. You don't have to make up shit. I think that that's pretty fair. Don't make up shit to be mad at someone for when there's legitimate shit to be mad at them for, right? The next one is a Snapchat conversation that's been going around that has just like a few sort of out of context messages, just like archived messages from Ava. One of them is like sharing that Belle Delphine is going to sell bath water. Another one is just saying, thanks, Dad. And this is a trend we'll see later on. We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's something that Ava does a lot. And then just other conversations, like vague posts.
That's
Nothing
not
too weird, but bear in
Bro, that's not a lolly avatar, okay? Impossible. When you play in 5v5, I'm playing 5v5 on Saturday, chatter. Why are you even defending her? I'm not. I don't know how many different languages I need to fucking say this, okay? I think it is completely fucking inappropriate to be messaging 13-year-olds online, okay? Especially after you find out that they're 13 and you continue a conversation. Having said that, however, this would not be a fucking story if Ava Kris Tyson had never come to terms with their gender, okay? And came out as trans. If you think that this would be a conversation that would drive discourse for this long, okay, look at all the other people. They don't give a fuck about the Cody Co situation. That one, there's like literally a crime that took place. It's outside, it's beyond the statute of limitations in the state of Florida, but like a literal fucking crime took place and people don't give a shit. They don't care, okay? I'm so confused. Is Kris her dead name? No. So I think because she is a public person with a massive profile and was like known by the name Kris, she did this thing where she made it her middle name. And I think it was because, Kris with a K and not Kris. I think it's just accommodation, okay? Trans people have to do a lot of this stuff in general. They shouldn't have to, but they do. And I think for her, she especially had to do it because she was a public person for longer as a male presenting individual than a trans woman.
Mind, these are Snap conversations with like a 14-year-old when Ava was like college age, I believe like 19 years old. And these are 100% legitimate. Comes from this guy, Young No Name, and said after posting these pictures online, I'll only say that in regards to the Snapchats and messages that went crazy that I took down, it is weird to send those messages to a 14-year-old because Young No Name was 14 at the time, but it never went past the edgy jokes at all. As for all the other stuff, I can't say. And then went a little more defensive today and said most of these texts by Kris Tyson were taken with no context and they did not go further than the jokes in the snaps. Kris could have been replying to anything I sent.
Excuse, he was calling you guys out and was hanging out with Cheezer. Yeah. I mean, dude, if you're a kick streamer, you don't have a say in this conversation at all, okay? If you're a fan of kick streamers openly, you have no say in this combo. See yourself out of this fucking conversation. Walk right out of this conversation, okay? Get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about, man? Are we serious?
There's no bad intention of the messages between us. The other stuff I cannot speak for.
That's so
basically
funny.
Saying, after posting the messages himself,
the strangest thing is how kick streamers do pedo hunting streams, but never stream snipe each other. Yeah, I don't know. How do you not cross those streams ever? It's a unique situation. It's just like, damn, man, I'm the best pedo hunter out there. And it's just like, seemingly, there's so many on the platform that I'm streaming on. Does Rage count? No, Rage doesn't count. He's fine. He's chill.
It was just edgy.
Didn't you go to a brothel that got busted for underage workers? No, dumbass. No. I did not go to a brothel that was busted for underage workers. 14-month subscriber. How do you get this fucking brain broken? You white boys, when you like pedophilic drawings, nice of Lud to experiment with the first underwater microphone. 14-month subscriber. How does this happen to your brain? Genuinely. Okay? They're bringing back the old hits. Yeah. No, dude. Every type of fucking slander on that avenue is just objectively made up. Okay? This drama is so old they can legally drive. This drama is so old. If people were messaging this drama in Discord servers, no one would actually be afraid or be upset by it. He's a sub because he thinks it's awesome to bang underage women, Lamau. I love that I went to a brothel that got fucking raided for tax evasion 10 years later. And people act like I'm Jeffrey Epstein. This is like, brothels definitely do a fuck ton of weird shit, okay? For sure, fuck ton. And sex trafficking does occur. It's just that like this one particular brothel that I did go to is like a tourist destination. And not only that, but also it successfully sued the German, the German city of Berlin. Oof, guilty, Lamau. I've honestly never even heard of that platform. Yeah, guilty of going to a brothel that did tax evasion 10 years later. Was illegally raided and they won a settlement with the city in a country where it's like legal and government controlled, for the record. Anyway. Yes, I went to the brothel to help them do tax evasion, for the record. Let the record show. That chatter you had up left? Oh, they did? They just dropped that in and left? How? Wait, no, I don't get it. Why would you give a shooter distance? Who Omega Law? Bronny could beat you, bro. Stop fronting. You still sling ads for Amazon? Why are you fronting? Gambling ads are crazy. Bro, you were literally calling a black man coconuts a few weeks ago? This guy's crazy. I can't get a beat on him that his political ideology is like fucking all over the place. I would suspect that he's just like an average Destiny fan who stays subbed so he can avoid the top of the hour ad breaks and also hate better.
Jokes. But this is a trend of Ava sending edgy jokes to like teens, right? Like younger teens, excuse me, while being like, 19 years old, sending it to 14-year-olds. Because it didn't just happen with Young No Name. It also happened with this guy, Nathan, who made a video, and I'll just play a clip from here.
I was definitely uncomfortable being called daddy by a 20-year-old, and even just thinking about it now, it's just uncomfortable.
And now you might be wondering, like, okay, how do you even end up in a position as like a 20-year-old, 19-year-old, whatever it is, talking to 14, 15-year-olds? And it seems like a lot of this started from, these are basically all people who at one point or another were part of like a Discord server and acting as Discord mods. Some of them got elevated to position of like Mr. Beast gaming producers who would help like basically build the Minecraft worlds that they used to use, or like setting up a Gmod server. So people who had like the technical ability and the free time that a fucking high schooler does were all added to like a private Discord server that later became a public Discord server where these edgy jokes were kind of shared. For the most part, almost all of these jokes and comments from Ava are happening in like group messages. But fact remains, Ava's still like around 20 at the time, and there are minors who are like around 14 who are seeing these jokes. So there's a history of Ava talking somewhat inappropriately to like minors who were Discord sort of workers, employees, mods, I guess, if you will. But the biggest accusation came with a guy named Lava. And I'll just read it out here. Kris Tyson from Mr. Beast has been messaging a male minor starting when the minor was around 13. This is Lava, and Ava was 20. The two constantly joke.
Lots of people praying this is the start of Jimmy's downfall. I doubt it. He's too big to fail. And also, like this isn't even, he could just easily say this is his fault overall. And the thing is, the only people that are angry at Mr. Beast are people who are upset that he like stood by Ava for as long as he did. Also, his audience has no fucking clue what's going on because they're 12 years old. Hasan, do you employ child laborers? Yes, my 38,000 chatters all labor for me.
Joked inappropriately with each other about hentai addiction, sending suggestive pictures, etc. They confirmed met up together when the minor was 16. So like the worst faith interpretation of this is Ava groomed this 13-year-old and then met up with them, right? What happened at this meetup? I think that is like the most obvious question. And this is definitely the biggest, and it's worth going through. So let's go through it together. Now, this all dropped from a video from this guy named Prism, which is a very hard video to watch.
Damn, look at that. Like, look at those shorts. Look at those shorts right there. Don't scroll up. Don't hide my fucking face. Son of a bitch.
Necessarily of the messages, but because it is literally 43 minutes of this guy in a park bench with the messages printed out, reading the message and flashing it up for seconds at a time. And so I've tried to go through them, but there are a few different circumstances where
Crop me again.
Ava just says some out of.
Aren't there labor laws? How can these kids be working? I think it's because it's online for the most part. It just gets, there's no like actual regulation around it. But beyond that, we live in the United States of America. I don't know if you know this, but like Arkansas and many other states have actually lowered the child labor restrictions so that they can actively get the children to work in the mines once again, or at least like poultry factories and stuff like that. So, you know, there's like child labor is the doing of children themselves, to be fair. They yearn for it. They yearn for the labor.
Pocket stuff to a fucking minor. Now, the most egregious one is like Ava seems to have had this sort of like habit of calling everyone dad, or at points daddy. And that also applied to like 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Like it would be the same if it was presumably talking to like a Mr. Beast member as it were talking to Lava here, which is weird when you're 20 and you're calling someone dad or daddy.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Ludwig, I haven't even watched anyone else's drama coverage of this, but like I think Ludwig probably did a best job out of everyone else. He's really putting ASU on his back right here. Okay. I mean, my man's got a degree in journalism and he's putting it to use. Okay.
That's weird. Now,
watch Muda's. I would rather, I'm Brian Kill Me instead of watch Muda's video.
Originally got connected because Lava won a CSGO knife giveaway from a Mr. Beast video. And so Ava was the one who like had the connection with those knives, got the contact information, sent it out. Later on, Ava was looking for like Discord moderators to help set up a Discord channel. And Lava, who had some experience in that, was like, I'll do it. And that's how the two originally got connected. Lava started doing work as a Discord moderator, moved on to doing work as like a Minecraft modder, would occasionally create like Gmod lobbies, basically just different tech stuff in the gaming world that would help for like the Mr. Beast gaming channel, or just for Ava personally. And I've confirmed all of this because I talked to Lava directly. Now, in working with Ava, they ended up being in like the same Discord server that started as like a private, Discord server, which is where all these messages are from. None of these messages are from private DMs between the two of them, but they still contain a lot of inappropriate jokes, like this one here. Now, it's worth noting this is not like a private snap that Ava sent directly to Lava. It was part of a Snapchat chat that they were both in, but fact remains, like, maybe you shouldn't just...
Greatest thing Hoscourt ever did was make it strictly 18 plus. Yeah. There was some fucking wacky ass ideas back in the day in Hoscourt, and I was like, no shot. You guys are fucking insane. They wanted to be like, oh no, we should be all inclusive. I was like, fuck no, dude. Listen, I don't have any control over Hoscourt whatsoever. I don't even know how to fucking ban people. It's for you, by you. But if you fucking, there was never a moment where I was like, nope, absolutely not, dude.
just be in a fucking group chat with a 14-year-old who you've hired to be like a Minecraft modder, right? Your relationship should be professional, and if that is it. You can't talk like you would in a boys chat with all of your same age friends as you would in a chat with someone who you've hired who is 14 years old when you're 20. I think that's pretty fair. That's just a fact that Ava should not have talked in that Discord server like she did with minors present, all right? Especially minors who are like in that situation because they are working for you. A lot of the things that were said were just inappropriate. Like, just fucking, you shouldn't drop the coming for America joke when the 14-year-old's in this.
I suspect people will be like, you and Charlie should not be getting harassed for not covering this immediately. It's honestly just messed up. All the discussion of this should just be going to Ava Kris Tyson and their actions. People attacking you and Charlie for not immediately jumping to conclusions is crazy. The fact that he had to make this just to appease the crowds of people harassing him and Charlie for not speaking out about it when Charlie did on stream and Ludwig is literally on vacation is crazy. Yeah, it's like it. Fingers will look at this and be like, you didn't immediately say Ava Kris Tyson is a pedophile and all trans people are pedophiles. So like, obviously this is not what we expected from you. You're still deep in the pocket is what people will say to Lud. And then they'll turn around and be like, oh, you're trying to appease the woke mob again. And what is appeasing the woke mob? Looking at a story like this and covering it with like the actual sensitivity it deserves, instead of immediately running and being like, no, all trans people are pedophiles immediately. I've made up my mind. Just kidding. I had made up my mind yesterday and I've made up my mind the day before. And today I'm also making up my mind on the same issue because that was my position. And actually I don't really give a shit about the story at all. I just wanted to say trans people are pedophiles and then stand on that and, you know, yell at everybody who doesn't say that. Like, that's it. That's what the expectation was, because they're like, at no point did like any of the people who were like making this profile like ever actually turn around and like try to treat it with the sensitivity that it needs to be treated with in terms of like, you know, talking to the victim. Like, if there's an alleged victim of grooming, you can't just like try to dupe them into your fucking narrative. Like, you have to literally talk to them and understand what happened and then take quotes from them. That's the difference between like someone actually doing investigative reporting and someone just like making a fucking YouTube video with the overarching goal of just being like sensitivity. Yes, sensitivity. What do you mean? Yes. Grooming minors stories should be treated with sensitivity. Is that actually a shocking statement that I'm making? Is that what's going on at this point? Sensitivity is a absolute must when talking about any kind of sexual harassment, sex assault. What the freaking what? Yes. Responsibility is woke and gay. Yeah, I'm the Chad. I'm the Chad, not understander.
Does that make sense? This group chat shouldn't even have a 14-year-old in it in the first place. But Lava refuted the claim that he was taken advantage of, or basically that he was groomed. He said these videos were massive lies, twisting the truth. Ava never did anything wrong, just made a few edgy jokes. The videos that he attached aren't actually the ones that...
Hasan is heavily indoctrinated. Yes, I'm heavily indoctrinated because I said stories involving minors, especially stories about grooming allegations involving minors, needs to be covered in an incredibly sensitive way, in an incredibly just making sure that the victim is treated with dignity and their requests are listened to. I know I am a freak. It's a delicate issue. I am heavily indoctrinated by journalistic ethics, or rather, an understanding of the law. These are the things that have indoctrinated me.
That include the messages. It's totally different videos. But
also, at no point, at literally no fucking point, did I ever say that any of these actions were appropriate. And as a matter of fact, I have reiterated that it is totally inappropriate. So it's not like when people go, oh, dude, why are you defending this person? You're an absolute dumbass. I am not.
I digress. Lava says not a victim. And how these videos and messages were discovered in the first place is also kind of wild. So the guy who made a prison video that I talked about, that 43-minute long video, faked a job interview to ambush the alleged victims and confront them. And when I asked Lava directly, That's exactly what he told me. In fact, you can see this is the DM from Prism to Lava, who said, "My name's Martin. I would like to interview you. I want to interview an anime fan. I think it'd be interesting because you worked on the Mr. Beast server. I will pay you if you would like," which was not at all the intention. Prism obviously had some...
Like that, you can't do that. It's done. That's ridiculous. That's not... It's over at that point. That's like... I don't know how to describe it to people who don't comprehend how super not allowed that is. Okay? That's not... You can't lie and still maintain the idea that like you were doing this to help a victim of grooming. Okay? That's insane.
That there was like inappropriate messages and wanted to uncover them, but like went through it in a very like shady way. I don't know why. I don't know why he didn't just think to be forthcoming, but that is what he did. He also sat on this story for 1 year.
Or a year went by, and it's still the information has not gotten out.
And the reason is because he wanted it to go out through a different source and said that he reached out to 50 plus people. This video is a nightmare watch, but he reached out to, and this is a real list, Charlie Kirk, EDP, Oompaville.
What? Of course you're not. We all know you don't think that it's okay at all. The contrast and reaction is interesting. I would not categorize your coverage of other cases as sensitive or delicate, and I feel like that's because you have a predisposition to not like that person involved. Wait, what? I feel like sensitivity isn't your typical approach. I remember your dancing when finding out about Doc. Brother, I wasn't engaging in investigative reporting. What are you talking about? Do you think I was reaching out to Dr. Disrespect's victim and lying about who I am and my background in an effort to out Dr. Disrespect? Some of you guys that think you are hyper rational literally are living on a different fucking planet. Sensitivity to the victims is what I'm talking about. I am dumb. Okay, well, I'm glad you recognize that. What the fuck? At no point was I the investigative journalist that was trying to seek out the potential minor victim of Dr. Disrespect. I even went so far as to talk to Slasher, who explained why more details could not be divulged to protect the victim, and I agreed. Yes.
Chris Hansen, Sam Hyde, and Chris Chan. Which is weird. Why would you reach out to EDP to be the one to drop the news on Ava having inappropriate conversations with someone? That's the wrong guy for the job. I mean, that's like being down 2 points and giving Slime the ball for the game-winning shot. It just doesn't make sense.
I was genuinely confused when I read the Rolling Stone article. This motherfucker actually reached out to EDP, or did I misunderstand that? Also, I don't appreciate the slime diss.
That's not the guy that you pick. Prison.
Yeah, I didn't dance when I was reaching out to the victim. I danced after fucking Dr. Disrespect openly admitted it. Okay.
Apparently also stalked one of the people to try to get them to drop this story. Again, this is all from their video. You can watch it yourself.
And so with the Chris Chan thing, I took me and my business partner and we went to Virginia. We drove halfway across the United States. We searched the Chesterfield Gateway homes because we believed he was there. That's where people speculated he was being held at. And we looked for Chris Chan. We did not see him there. It was a group home for mentally challenged people.
Dude, what the fuck? Just post this.
It's such a weird way for Prism to approach Lava, because it seems like the plan was to start talking about anime, then ambush Lava with questions about Ava. But I suppose Lava was genuinely a victim of grooming, which is what Prism thinks. How would that play out? You're going to spring that onto a grooming victim? Just goes to show Prism isn't actually interested in his to expose pedophilia, just to ruin a trans person's life. No, that's precisely what I'm saying. Like, either he's objectively the dumbest person on the planet and literally did not think this through at all, or he had an alternative reason for doing this. And he's pretty fucking stupid, but I think that there's still an alternative reason for doing this. Why are you saying this wouldn't be a big deal? What do you mean? Oh, I said if this was like an edgy white boy doing this shit, everyone would be literally calling out those like myself who would think this is weird and gross still. Okay? I'm not saying I think this isn't a big deal. I'm saying that I do think this is weird and gross, but the deal that was made on this is because Ava is trans. That's 100% what it is. And we know that because hella people were defending Dr. Piss Inspect. It's the same fucking people. That's why they immediately, just like Trainwrecks and XQC did, immediately were like, oh, you know who's actually, remember the fucking stuff with like, what was the dude's name? It wasn't, what was it? Misgift's friend? The dude who was like fucking weird and crazy slick. Thank you. Immediately, the first thing the XQC did was be like, oh, Pokemon and Hasan didn't react appropriately to this. And then they fucking tried to pull me into this. Do you guys not remember that shit? It's because you don't have any fucking interest in like covering a story. You're just using it like a nuke. That's it. So many people operate like this online. It's fucking weird and gross.
Screenshots in like a 45-second YouTube short, and that would get the job done. You don't have to do that. That doesn't. Why would you go to Christian of all people? That's insane. That's a whole other story. As far as Lava's opinions, it wasn't that. But I do think it was severely inappropriate conversations that you shouldn't be having with a 14-year-old. As far as the meetup.
The message I typed was basically XQC's point so I could help you argue back. That is probably the dumbest thing you could ever do, which is adopt an XQC talking point and then present it as your own. But thank you, chatter. Like, you're not wrong. You are dumb, just like you admitted earlier. Thank you for helping me argue back.
That's the final kind of hole in this story. Well, I asked Lava about it, and it wasn't as nefarious as some people make it out to be. Basically, Lava's family, this is from Lava directly, I talked to him, vacations in North Carolina and wanted to meet up to hang out with the people that he had...
Cody's victim was 17, Chris' victim was 13. Why are you comparing the two events? They're mad because they're trying to bang a 13-year-old, not because they're trans. What are you talking about? Bro, I hope you never have kids. Cody had sexual intercourse, statutory rape with a 17-year-old. Why are you trying to fucking justify this? What is going on? Is there like a brain trust somewhere where like the absolute dumbest opinions are coming into full display? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on? One person committed a crime. What the fuck?
Been working for years. At this point, he was 16 years old, so he'd been working for the Mr. Beast team for like Mr. Beast Gaming for a couple of years at this point. So this is them in the RV. This is a picture that he gave me directly. Those feet down there are actually his dad's feet because he went with his family. So it wasn't weird in any way, shape, or form. He ended up working on a couple of Mr. Beast videos while he was there. I believe some Minecraft videos in the RV. But it was with his family. Nothing weird happened. It was totally just to hang out with the people that presumably he idolized, looked up to, and also worked for. Now, Ava has made an apology to all of these allegations. But because there are so many, this initial apology was shit. Just read it. I would like to apologize for any of my past behavior or comments. If it hurt or offended anyone, it was not my intent. Seeing recent events, we've decided to mutually part ways. I think it's best I permanently step away from all things Mr. Beast and social media to focus on my family and mental health. So it seems like, I mean, at least as far as now, it was a mutual decision to step away. I don't know if it was a quitting or a firing exactly. Some people love to say mutual when it wasn't.
Well, this video...
Chatter saying it's not about Ava being trans. It is about a child being involved. So they're saying, how could you be comparing the two? Is that right? Yeah, but that chatter is also operating under the assumption that like Ava was trying to fuck this 13-year-old or may have even fucked the 13-year-old. And I don't know what the fuck the chatter is thinking. That's the difference. There is no evidence of Ava doing that. There's only evidence of the victim in this situation, the former 13-year-old who's now 20 being like, that never happened. I don't know. Maybe they're fucking, maybe it did. I don't fucking know. But what am I supposed to do? Make inferences on my own? What is this angle, bro? You're doing dirty. You're doing Lud dirty with these pauses, bro. Come on, that's not my fault.
Video is being edited. Mr. Beast dropped a statement about it. He basically said that he was the one who fired Chris, which I thought might have been the case. So that is true. And that he's also doing a third-party investigation to basically see like what involvement it had with Mr. Beast Incorporated and what was just Chris by her own actions. So we'll see what comes of that, but just wanted to include this a little bit.
And it seems like a blanket I did it statement, you know, kind of because the PR talk and because it doesn't refute anything. Now, a couple hours later, Ava followed up and did refute the grooming stuff. But because it was later, look at the view difference. 33 million on this one, 1.8 million on this.
Yeah, that was also literally like that tweet is basically like, yeah, that was like a Dr. Disrespect style fucking response, which was crazy. Like, how the fuck do you just fire that off? I think that's probably why a lot of people immediately went extra hard after too. I, on the other hand, was not aware of any of this shit when it was popping off because, once again, I was hiding the truth about YouTube stuff because I'm a big Mr. Beast fan. As you guys know, I've appeared in a lot of the videos, and I'm being sarcastic, but I think people will probably clip this and go, "Did you see? We knew it." And not because, as a political commentator, as a person whose job is to cover news, I have been talking actively about some fairly significant news. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of it, but I don't know if you guys have seen or heard of the stuff that's going on in the world, but Donald Trump almost got assassinated, and then Joe Biden dropped out of the race, and then Joe Biden endorsed Kamala Harris, who's the vice president. So I feel like I've been a little... Bro, I saw people saying you were silent so you can continue to get the bag from Mr. B's. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I was doing that. That's what I was doing. I'm getting the bag from Mr. B's. How are you never in any of his videos? I don't know. Maybe because I spent the last 10 months talking about how Israel is doing an active genocide in Gaza. I feel like when you do that, you get taken off the fucking chocolate list, okay? I feel like when you do that, normally internationally recognized brands are like, maybe I shouldn't have that guy on my fucking YouTube video with like 700 gorillion views. So you're a fun guy to have around? Well, a lot of my haters seem to think that I am not a fun guy to have around, but a lot of people that I am around almost always in unison say that I'm a fun guy to be around because I'm not fucking talking about politics when I'm offline.
Reality is most people have left this thinking that Ava has admitted guilt to all allegations. But she does refute that she never groomed anyone. The person who brought up the accusations against Lava are spreading false rumors, and Lava has supported me. Having said that, I humbly apologize to anyone I've hurt with my unacceptable social media posts, past actions, and to those who feel betrayed by how I used to act online. To lump these two factors together and create a narrative that my behavior extended beyond bad edgy jokes is disgusting and did not happen. I learned my old humor is unacceptable, and I cannot change who I was, but I can continue to work on myself. And that's where it leaves us. Did Ava try to groom young teenage kids to eventually meet up with them to do like pedophilic shit? No, that never happened. Did Ava have severely inappropriate conversations with several different minors and then also have a history of supporting a lolly artist, even purchasing some of that lolly art? Yes. Is that worthy of being removed from Mr. Beast? Absolutely you should. Yeah. And even if Ava's a totally different person.
Yeah, he's saying this, by the way, but like also... That's why all the resurfaced Mr. Beast posts and shit, he would not make that same calculation in that situation because they're best friends. They were edgy white boys together. You know what I mean? They were doing edgy white boy shit together. And like, cause I remember like one of the first, Kaya, place. You are not a guard dog. What is this? Your mod's got to go harder on these hate watchers. What do you mean? They don't want to fucking ban. I don't want them banning every single person. Hey, don't embarrass my girl like that. Doing edgy shit on the internet is like mob ties to white people. Yeah, I mean, look, I never did it. I find it fucking weird. I don't like it. And I didn't like it back then either. And I still don't like it. I'm simply not trying to hide the truth about Ava as hard as what? Whoa. What did this guy say? Hide the truth about Ava? How much more coverage can I offer this? Oh, that guy was trying to do a top of the hour ad break debate. You deserve to be banned. He got me. You don't deserve to be banned. That wasn't even a two-parter. Nanasan trying to hide the truth about Ava is hard, or even harder than he tries to hide the top of the hour. Respect. It's not even a two-parter. It was a one-parter. You can unban them. Anyway, how did Ludwig manage to go through this video without mentioning transphobia is crazy? Brother dog. Oh, Thembo coach. My favorite Themperor. Let me explain something to you, okay? Okay? That's how you stay on the fucking chocolate list. That is exactly how you get this shit monetized and you stay on the motherfucking chocolate list and you're a brand friendly ass motherfucker, okay? He definitely did a much better job than most other content creators that cover the story, but that's precisely how you do that. You understand me? He rides that line. He brings up Ava's trans in the beginning, never again. That way, people are not going to fucking yell at him and be like, Bob, you didn't call every trans person a pedophile. What the fuck? It's a phenomenal way. It, in my opinion, avoids one of the most like drama focused, one of the most significant aspects of the story. And it also ends up making it so that like people don't immediately yell at you. We know Ludwig is pro-trans. Okay. He's not a transphobic person at all. He's not even like weird about it. He's not even like, oh, they're weird, I don't really care. No, he's like actively pro-trans. Do we? Yes, he is. He had fucking the trans pride flag behind him 6-7 years ago. Okay, you know what his position is on this issue, but he doesn't just fucking rub your face with it. Okay, which I think is pretty smart. In my opinion, it's a smart thing to do. It's a business-wise smart thing to do. And maybe he doesn't feel comfortable parsing through the transphobia aspect of it. But yeah, I think it's lacking that aspect of the story, of course. But that's what I'm here to do, right? Seriously, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. What is this? Hasan gearing up, buying all those zins to build this? Hello, Epic Department. Okay. Arguing with transphobes is damn near impossible. Yes, arguing with Republicans in general is damn near impossible because most Republicans have become like avid transphobes. So it's like, it's just impossible to have any conversation with them because I don't know. It's just like they're insane. They're like hallucinating shit. And they're like, oh, if you don't agree with my hallucinations, like you're also a pedophile. And it's like, okay, never mind. Why are you so bad at being rich? I still serve 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. That's how I stay being rich and good. I don't fucking know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm dumb. Here's the 3-minute ad break now.
Those former actions are still your responsibility. And I think it is smart to have stepped down or been fired. I don't know exactly how it actually went down. And that's where it currently leaves us at. I'm going to make a video in the next couple days on this channel because I had a lot of shit come my way about taking too long to make this while on vacation with my family. But that's a story for a different day. Hopefully that fills you in. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye. All right. See you later. Goodbye now. Goodbye. See you later. Goodbye now.
Are you ever going to do a P.O. box? Weird question, but do you hate the fact that you're well off financially? No. Why would I hate the fact that I'm well off financially? No. Oh, no. Trump camp says they're backing off the debates? Oh, no. Dude, fuck that. Dude, fuck that. Dude, actually fuck that. That is so fucked. How convenient he was in vacation with his family. You Hollywood streamers are hiding something. I know. Just like I called Joe Biden to drop out of the race so I didn't have to cover the Ava Kris Tyson situation. He went and visited family in where? France, which very famous for having pedophilic philosophers. I rest my case.